gosh, you really had this thing ready to go. Unbelievable. I just have the hat in the background. That's it. But whatever. Let's dive into this thing. Okay. So
let's do it.
Massive news today. So Deebo Samuel, your old friend at the University of South Carolina. Not really.
That's
That'd be
right.
pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool if you guys were friends. Is requesting a trade from the Niners, and the Packers are in, they need a couple receivers here. I wrote an article today for Fansided about why it's not impossible, but it's unlikely that they make a trade for him. What are the chances? You think it's very unlikely the Packers get him?
I think cost is really part of the equation. And one of the conversations I was a part of today was that the Packers can't do anything because Rodgers has such a massive deal, which if you look at it, I think he's is he 6 or 8 on highest paid players in the league? So he's not the highest.
He's one of the highest paid quarterbacks. I think he might be. I mean, it's 3, isn't his deal is 3 years, 100. Oh, Stafford, that's right. I keep forgetting about that.
Prescott.
Josh Allen.
Yeah, I think they're all above him.
They're definitely, I think currently right now, just for this season alone, $15 million roughly. The Sammy Watkins deal brings them a little bit below that. So with Devontae Adams, it was said that they could pay him what he wanted, the whole $30 million a year, $25 to $30 million. They could make him the highest paid receiver in the game. They wanted to pay. It was just too late. Devontae was kind of too far gone. He wanted to
right.
So they could pay Deebo Samuel. Deebo Samuel wants $25 million, $30 million for what he can do. And the Packers could pay that. I mean, they've already acknowledged.
But is that just Ty Montgomery all over again?
Deebo put up 1,400 yards this year receiving. So he's not he doesn't want to be the reason he's upset in San Francisco is he doesn't want to be a running back. He just wants to be a true receiver because he wants longevity, taking so many hits.
And I wanted them to draft Deebo to begin with. Love the guy. I think he's phenomenally talented. But I don't know, when you're asking the question, will we make the move for him? Does he have everything? He's not just traditionally been a wide receiver 1. He's sort of a do-everything kind of back, which I think is great. And from a scheme standpoint, could we do something with him? Could LaFleur scheme something up? Absolutely.
Similar schemes. Him and Shanahan are friends.
I don't know, with that cost, even paying Devontae that much, what does that do to the rest of the team? You look at the Chargers and what they've been able to put together, and I think they're going to have another great season.
Yeah.
But their quarterback's on his rookie deals till 2024.
That's a really good point. Think back to the Legion of Boom, Seattle Seahawks. Russell Wilson was on his rookie deal. That's why they were able to kind of handle all that and win a Super Bowl. So that's a really good point. And you talking about Deebo, I was kind of thinking about that earlier because he's not I was debating between would I rather have him for, a first round pick or whatever the Niners want. I love your mug. It's great.
It was a present. Shout out Ryan. Thank you.
Would I rather have Deebo for a first round pick and whatever San Francisco wants, or would I rather have Tyler Lockett for maybe Jordan Love, a 3rd round pick and a 6th round pick or something like that? I don't know. I think Tyler Lockett though he's coming off of back-to-back years of 1,000 yards. He's a 3-time All-Pro returner. He would solve our return issues as well. And I think the way we replace Devontae, I've been saying this, there's not going to be a guy out there that can immediately do what he and Aaron could do. That's not what the Packers are going to try to do here. I think they need to go wide receiver by committee. Allen Lazard is a do-it-all. I love Allen Lazard. Randall Cobb has Aaron's trust in the slot. All right. So those are 2 guys. Sammy Watkins is a true pro. He's been in the league 8 years. Aaron's excited to work with him. So those are 3 guys. We need 2 more guys while we wait for Amari Rodgers to kind of grow. I think we're trying to go by a committee. And a Tyler Lockett, who has been a very good player in this league for a long time, who has had some very clutch games in Seattle, some clutch seasons. I think that could be a guy who we target. I hope we target. And then a first round pick on a Traylon Burks from Arkansas, who I've talked to you about, like on the phone. That guy is 6'2", 225. I mean, against Alabama, I think he had, what did he do? I think he had 6 grabs or 8 grabs for 160 yards and 2 touchdowns. I mean, he put them, through the ringer. So that's a guy. Obviously, the receiver class is loaded. Jahan Dotson from Penn State, the Ohio State guys, Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson. There's a lot of guys there, and there's a lot of, room for the Packers to kind of improve that position.
Yeah, and I mean, I think having it just be one guy in the past has hurt us, because then if they got hurt, they were out, they got double covered, and they were taken out of the game. However they were taken out of the game, and we couldn't do anything. It was tough to move the ball. So I like having different pieces. As much as I love and get connected, like Devontae forever will be a Packer to me.
Yeah.
Hated to see him leave. But if you had to see a position go, I mean, that's one that it's just tough to pay that much. So again, I think if Deebo, he's young in his career, I don't know. Does he deserve to be paid? Absolutely. Is it the best move for the organization as a whole? With the needs we have at special teams, the needs we have at edge rush, I think looking a couple years down the line, I like your strategy of bringing in an affordable difference maker that may be on a team that, they can't wait out a rebuild.
Yeah. The receiver thing, it's interesting because receiver, if you look at the roster for us, receiver is only really the only diehard need in terms of like starters. Everywhere else, have our quarterback, the best quarterback to ever play the game. We have the greatest, I was going to say the greatest. We have the best running back duo in the game right now. I mean, I know Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, and Cleveland are very good, but I think A.J. Dillon, Aaron Jones are so great. Tight end, we got to wait for Robert Tonyan to come back healthy, but I think that room, I think we have some capable guys in there. DeGuara, Daphne, big dog. So receiver is a question mark. We don't know that yet. Defensively, man, Preston and Rashawn on the – I'm just talking about starters. Preston and Rashawn on the edge. Kenny Clark, Jaron Reed, getting him in. Jaron Reed had 10.5 sacks, the career high in Seattle. And then Dean Lowry, TJ Sladen. People are expecting big things from him this year. Like, they have a good rotation on the inside. Devondre Campbell, stud, all-pro. Chris Barnes, he'll be in his second year with Campbell, I think 3rd year overall in the league. They'll form a nice little duo. Defensive backfield. We have the best cornerback trio in the game. Rasul Douglas, Eric Stokes, Jair Alexander, and then Amos and Savage are, I think, a very good safety duo that, not a lot of people talk about. The problem, we just need depth. Jonathan Garvin, I don't really trust him behind Rashawn and Preston. I don't. We need more depth behind the edges. Linebacker, we've talked about this as well. Oren Burks didn't really reach his full potential with us, but he's in San Francisco now. And I don't know about you, but I don't trust Ty Summers backing up Devondre Campbell and Chris Barnes. I think we need depth there, and then safety as well. Yeah. Amos and Savage, I believe, might hit free. I think they're slated to hit free agency next year. So we need to find, just in case we lose one of those guys or both those guys, because you can't keep everyone. I think we need to find a safety as well, and then stop rambling. But offensive line, while we wait for Elton Jenkins to come back from his ACL. I mean, we have guys. Bakhtiari will be healthy. With John Runyon at left guard, center Josh Myers should be healthy at center right guard. Royce Newman is a stud. I think Royce Newman he started all 16 games as a rookie. I think he's a good piece. And then right tackle, Yash Nyman, who stepped in for Bakhtiari part of the season last year, was unbelievable. So we just need backups at positions other than receiver. Receivers, we need, starters. We need help there, seriously. But other positions, we just need backups. That's kind of my thinking. Yeah.
Schematically, what we're seeing to be successful is quarterbacks on rookie contracts, younger contracts. Teams have been able to build up the other specialty players around them. And from a cap standpoint, that's basically all we're fighting here. Because if we didn't have that issue, we would never have lost Devontae. We wouldn't have lost Z. We wouldn't have lost many of the staple pieces. Micah Hyde. Some of these guys
Casey Hayward.
given up.
Yeah.
And I'm drawing a blank on his name. The guy on the Chargers who's still
Casey Hayward.
Casey Hayward. Yeah.
Yeah, he's in. Yeah, he's in Atlanta.
What a steal trading up to get him in the draft when we did.
Oh yeah.
But do you think that like the Bucks built a team and then Brady came to it, right? And he brought Gronk with him. Does our formula work? Because do you think it's more difficult though? Like, think about it though. Look at the Chargers. They're not having to pay Herbert yet.
Yeah.
So they have this money to bring in Khalil Mack. They have this money to bring in other players. Do you think that we're experiencing challenges just based at where we're at in the cycle of some of our stars?
That's a great question. I think so. And look, okay, I was thinking about this earlier. I was actually talking to myself. That's embarrassing. That was. And Tampa Bay, dude, they drafted Godwin, they drafted Mike Evans, they drafted Devin White. They had good players. But Tom Brady came in and they won. They won the Super Bowl. Before Brady came, that whole organization, they were bad. I mean, they were one of the worst franchises in the league in sports, really. They were not, the Green Bay Packers for 30 years have been stable. They've been winning. They have dominated their division. They've had two great quarterbacks. They've been consistent winners. They're just missing that one, like maybe at the trade deadline in the fall or maybe the draft, whatever, free agency. They're missing that one key piece or two key pieces. I think your question about is that, the challenge is definitely, because players want money. I'm thankful. I'm thankful right now. We don't have a play, right? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but we don't have a player like Deebo right now who's just asking like players are going to want extensions like Jair Alexander. They're going to extend him, but he's not sitting here right now saying, I want to be traded. I want to leave. Get me out of here.
Yeah. But at the same, and I'm going to interrupt you here because
no.
I don't think Lazard asked big time to be paid. That man deserves to be paid. We should have paid him, extended him. And if he leaves next year, I mean, we're looking at the product of why that happened. I shouldn't have to tell you how to respect me. You see what I do week in, week out. I don't like the 1 year sign on him.
Thank you. Gosh, we're on it. No, but that's why I have a problem with the Packers receiver room too, in the sense that the 1 year deal thing, this is an exclusive rights deal that Lazard's on. It's like a 1 year, $3.46 million deal or something. I can't remember the exact, but it's like a small deal. It's 1 year. Randall Cobb, they can add years to his contract, but it's a 1 year deal is what it is. Sammy Watkins, 1 year deal up to $4 million.
That one I was okay with, but
I agree. It's kind of similar to Devin Funchess. That's kind of what that is, sort of. That was when we signed Devin Funchess. It was like a 1 year sort of thing, I think. But that's what scares me is the whole 1 year thing, because I hope Randall, we haven't even played this year yet, but I mean, looking at next year, we could lose those key pieces in Lazard and Cobb next year. I don't want to, that's scary because I love those guys, but the 1 year deal thing, that just makes these seasons so important. Aaron has what, 2 years? I mean, I hope it's more than that.
He's a free agent in 2025.
Yeah. Guys, I mean, luckily we locked up Preston and Rasul and Devondre on defense, but Amos and Savage, free agents. Jair, again, they said they were going to pay, or I've heard from a lot of Packers people on social media, stuff like that. They're going to pay him. Don't worry, they're going to pay him. I hope they do. But this just shows year to year, you never know who you might lose. And that same group of people, Aaron has said this multiple times, that same group of people is never going to be together again, because you never know who you could lose. And
so here's the thought then. We clearly play the conservative game to a degree, but we have talent, and the talent has shown in the postseason, and the fact that we get pick number 25 through 28 every single year.
Yeah.
Great problem to have.
I love waiting 3 hours. Yeah.
But do you think we should do what the Rams did Now, fortunately, they won last year, but had they not, and they lost this year, they're looking at probably like a 25-year rebuild with how many first-round picks they dished out.
They would have lost to us. They would have lost to us. Have we, that's a great question. So, like, are you just saying, like, should we be more aggressive? Should we just say screw it, screw the draft picks?
Right. But we picked Jordan Love originally because we knew, could Rodgers get hurt and be done? It was a possibility. Was Jamal or Aaron Jones going to go? Yeah. So we addressed that need by drafting a running back. Phenomenal. I wouldn't take away A.J. Dillon for the world.
Yeah.
But with that mindset, you're building for the future and for now at the same time. So your original question was, do I want Deebo? For sure. Playmaker, dude's electric. Always has been. And he can change a game. One big play. You saw it with the Niners.
Yeah,
and the Niners are a product of, they have every position class is really great except their quarterback sucks.
Yeah,
not on board with it. I think it's horrible, and they couldn't win with it. So I don't blame him for coming out. I'd love to, not wanting to re-sign there. I'd love for him to come to Green Bay, and I think we got to put a little bit of risk in it. And
I'm with you. And what I love about this team is that we've had some players that are now starting to grow. Like defensively, I like looking at the defense because I like us becoming a more physical team. Kenny Clark, Preston Smith, Rasul.
There's Barnes too, dude. Seriously, on the physicality.
Dude, his hit against Kansas City. Have you seen that at the goal line? Oh my! I love that play.
Watching it again,
dude. And I that game, dude. That was that game. Like people are freaking out. Like I'm gonna go to Jordan Love for a second. Like people were freaking out about, oh, Jordan Love sucked. I believe his quarterback rating was higher than Mahomes' in that game, and I think he played pretty well for his first start in Arrowhead, one of the loudest places in the game. But going to the defense played outstanding that game. If Aaron is there, obviously they win. But the defense they played like studs, having to cover Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Mahomes. It was fantastic. You watching it?
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. I think our defense is getting tougher and tougher and like more physical. That's why we've gotten, blitzed in the playoffs by the Niners, a tough Buccaneers defense. They out-muscled us. They out-toughed us? Is that even a word? Whatever. You get the point.
Tough is what's above your lip.
It's like the episode of The Office when it's the weight loss episode and they're trying to copy Ryan's mustache and Dwight has like little whatever. We can talk about that later. But we're getting stronger defensively. And I think, we have Aaron Rodgers, obviously the best quarterback to ever play, greatest quarterback to ever play. But I think we need a little LA Rams in us. I think we need to go out there and, like I was talking to, some friends about this, like Packers friends about this, like I understand, talking on the phone with other GMs, trades, it takes a while. It's like contract extensions, it takes a while. At the same time, my frustrations are like, what are we doing? Like, let's just get on the phone with John Schneider, who worked in Green Bay, was an executive in Green Bay under Ted Thompson for a while. Make the call. Go get Tyler Lockett. Like, it's just, I understand it's a business and I understand it takes a long time and I will never be an NFL GM just because I don't know. It's frustrating because you want them they have the quarterback. Their defense seems to be the best it's been since 2010. They have arguably the best running back duo in the game. They have a chance, again, with Devontae Adams. Again, the offense got stopped in the postseason because defense is new. Aaron and Devontae's connection was so great. If you shut him down, you shut down the offense, So they have a chance to make this a more well-rounded receiver group. And they do that with a more physical defense. Get out the way. But
so
I want him to get more physical.
I like what you're saying. I like where you're going.
Mm-hmm.
But kind of keeping it. No, I think we've addressed some of the frustrations that we have with how the team's running right now. And I'd say next episode, we're going to talk pre-draft because it's right around the corner.
8 days.
Maybe the positions that we'd like to see, maybe the moves
Yeah.
that we'd like to see. So
Yeah, that's a good plan. I don't have an ending. I don't have an intro. I don't have
I
an
just want to
ending.
thank everybody for hanging out. I mean,
Yeah.
we want to hear what you think for the draft. If you want to leave a comment, please do.
Yeah.
And most importantly,
We're done.
I think we need to see more stash, so don't shave it.
Okay, the beard. I'm gonna try and copy Aaron here, which is gonna be tough because Aaron knows how to grow that thing, but it's about the size. It'll be just give it time,
I'm
all
trying,
right?
man. I need to get another haircut though, but it was going.
Like the Jim Halpert, like season 3, 4 before he gets there cut. Okay, whatever. More office talk, more Packers talk around the corner. Go Pack, go. Thanks for watching. See you next
This
episode.
is the way.